welcome to this episode. Tonight I've got with me Mark O'Donoghue. He's a good friend of mine, and, well, I'm going to let him introduce himself. How are we, Mark?
Hello. I'm very well, thank you. How is yourself?
I'm very good, very good.
Good.
So, let's go straight into it, and I know you as a few things. Yes.
Some nice.
Yeah, some nice, yeah. All of them are nice, really. So just tell us, mate, all the strings to your bow.
All the strings to me bow. Well, right, so obviously one of my main vocation was psychotherapy, which is specialised in hypnosis. I've been doing hypnosis since like the early 1990s. Okay. I qualified as a professional hypnotherapist sort of mid-1990s and went on to do other advanced hypnosis techniques, including past life regression therapy and neuro-linguistic programming, and did a lot of corporate stress management type stuff and a lot of stuff for the NHS.
So you actually were for the NHS helping people with addiction, was it, that sort of thing?
I was subcontracted, and there was two main things I was doing for the NHS, what I was subcontracted to. The main one was the NHS Stop Smoking Services, where I provided behavioural support, because I'm a NCSCT level stop smoking behavioural person for the NHS. And the other thing was I'm a tutor for chronic disease self-management, so we used to have like little group sessions for patients that have got like chronic diseases or chronic issues.
Oh, right, okay. So that kept you busy then?
Kept me very busy, yeah. I was probably doing about 40 plus hours a week just for the NHS.
Just for the NHS?
Yeah. Ooh. There's something...
I don't know.
It's like UFOs.
Yes, I know. Didn't it sound like something was landing in the background there? I can't see what it was, I don't know. No. Now, the thing I'm interested in, I know a lot of people are, is the past life regression.
Past life regression.
But when we spoke about it before, you kind of shot me down. Not shot me down, but your interpretation of it isn't what I believed.
Right, yeah.
And so you just go through, tell us what you believe a past life regression is.
Well, first of all, just because my beliefs are different than your beliefs doesn't mean that my beliefs are right and yours are wrong.
No.
Even though I've been trained in past life regression, it still doesn't mean, just because I've got a certificate or whatever, or a piece of paper saying that I'm a professional, doesn't mean I know more about past life regressions than yourself. So I don't want to sort of change your beliefs. I just want to sort of, either expand your beliefs or you expand my beliefs on the subject, because, as I mentioned before, past life regression is like a mystical subject, so nobody knows exactly what it is or what's happening with past life regressions. But as I mentioned before, there's a main. In fact, it was about a year or so ago, wasn't it, when you interviewed me about past life, and my views have actually changed a little bit since then.
I'm glad it isn't just me then that does this on things.
Well, exactly, and that's the beauty about beliefs. Beliefs are something that you hold true in the moment. Yeah. And if you can't change your beliefs, then you're not proceeding in life. You're not expanding your like spiritual awareness, if you like.
Yeah, because I solely believed, as you know, that if you went into, let's call it, is it an hypnotic state when you're getting into a past life regression? I believe that was solely your past life regression. Mm-hmm. But you, tell us, you believe that it might not be?
Yeah, it's a possibility that it could be.
Yeah.
I just don't believe that all of them are.
Right, okay.
And the different theories is one's reincarnation theory, which is what you you're on about
Yeah.
you going back into a past memory that your soul has had, that's lived. Another theory was like passing genetic information down through your DNA, which is a plausible thing. But my latest thing is linked to that. And the other theory that I believed before was like the Bruce Goldberg philosophy, where he's talking about the fifth dimension, about when you go into a hypnotic trance state, you're actually your subconscious is actually tapping into the fifth dimension, where all memories are stored from every person that's ever lived, or every soul.
Right, so in that instance, you could be going into. We'll go into this in a minute. How you start somebody into a past life regression, not obviously into massive detail. That's everybody be trying it to do.
Yeah.
But so in that instance, you could be going into this state that allows you to regress into somebody else's memory. Is that what you're saying? You could, in that view.
Well, the thing is, it's like when you say about going into somebody else's memory, most people believe that memory's stored in the brain, but it isn't. It's impossible for memory to be stored in the brain, and they've proven this scientifically by dissecting the brain of monkeys and stuff to see where memory's sort of located in the brain, and it's not located anywhere within the brain.
Right, so
obviously the brain processes memories, but it doesn't store memories, if that makes sense.
So they're like an iCloud?
Pretty much so, yeah.
Is this the Akashic Records?
Well, exactly, yeah. And the reason why I've changed my mind slightly recently is because I've been listening to a professor of biology that I've mentioned before, that Rupert Sheldrake.
Yeah.
And he talks about morphic, what is it?
Residence?
Yeah, he calls it morphic genetic states.
Right, okay.
And a morphic genetic state is like, how he explains it in biological terms, is if you've got, like, say a flower, that flower's got a certain DNA, but all the petals and the stem, etc., have the same DNA. So how does that DNA know whether to be a petal or a stem?
Okay.
And it's the same with a human being. If you took DNA from his brain and DNA from his toe and DNA from finger or skin or bone, it'll all be the same DNA.
Yeah, same DNA, yeah.
So how does it know the DNA? It's impossible for it to know unless there's some sort of external influence, which he believes is what's called morphic resonance.
How does it know what?
How does it know to be a bone or to be an eye or to be, a brain? Because they reckon, because the DNA geneticists, they just say, oh, it's just some sort of random magical thing. Mm-hmm. But Rupert Sheldrake can actually explain it by explaining, because he didn't come up with the morphic states that was that was mentioned, I believe it was in the 1920s or something like that, so way before Sheldrake. But I think Sheldrake come up with the concept of morphic resonance.
Yeah. Right, okay. Right, so it could be a number of things then. So I just thought you put me to sleep.
Just.
Yeah, and no, just. Yeah, I'm awake now, folks. You put me to sleep, and I remembered what I used to be years, in past lives.
Yeah.
But that does happen, doesn't it?
Well, yeah.
You get that sort of thing coming through.
And the thing is, that's what you experienced.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that might not have been connected to your soul.
I hope not, because the one time I've done it, I come back as a coward. You know,
I wonder what you're going to say
no,
there.
no, no. I was walking along a path, slapping the cow with a big stick, like, you know, walking past a mud hut. So, you know, other people have gone back into stuff like as a knight and fighting these great battles. And I'm there walking around following a cow down a lane, you know, so.
But it's like to sort of oversimplify the hypnosis. Let me oversimplify regression first. Obviously, past life regression is going into a memory from a past life, and as I've said, memories aren't stored anywhere on your physical body, not on your brain or anything. It's something external, and so it's like accessing the internet in a way. When you regressing, and regress is just a step backwards. So you're stepping backwards into a previous experience.
So do you believe that? Sorry to butt in there.
Yeah.
Do you believe that on just like on a day-to-day basis when you're remembering something?
Yeah, exactly. So if you can't find your keys and you try and remember you're actually using a part of your subconscious mind to regress yourself,
right,
and you're doing it on a conscious level, because you aren't putting yourself into a trance just to remember where you put your keys, or whether you switch the lights off in your house or whatever before you come here, or all that's regression.
But you only regress. I know there's some cases, but you only regress then when you do that. When like today, I've remembered I've left my lights on the van or something like that. So you can only regress your lifetime when you were here now. I know there's cases of kids remembering stuff, you know what I mean?
I was just going to say that's debatable, because we don't really know exactly what memory is, we just know that the brain reconstructs the memory, and there's different parts of the brain that actually causes the reconstruction.
Yeah, where I'm going with this is, so if that's true, what you say, I know this is only your outlook on it, which is, so it seems to me to go into a past life regression, you've got to be put into a more deeper state, do you think? More.
Yeah, and so if I explain what hypnosis is, if we separate hypnosis into two separate things, because the definition, if you read any book on hypnosis that you can actually buy in, Waterstones or Amazon or whatever, it'll define hypnosis as a totally natural, relaxed state of mind.
Okay.
However, you can also be hypnotized by fear. So it's like, if you look at, if you do the research on, say, the MK Ultra or Operation Artichoke, the CIA things where they brainwash using hypnosis, you'll actually use things like stimulants and sleep deprivation to hypnotise that person.
Like Clockwork Orange. They did it with him, didn't they? Have you seen Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, I've actually seen it more recently, and that's like an Orwellian type, like 1984 type brainwashing. That's through violence and stuff. It's very violent.
To get him non-violent.
Yeah, exactly.
So they scare. Well, it's like a scare.
It's like I think that'll be classed as flooding. What they call flooding in psychology terms. But so obviously, how can you be hypnotised by fear when hypnosis is a totally natural, relaxed state of mind? Because you can't be fearful and relaxed at the same time. Right, okay. So if we separate hypnosis into two separate things, you got the hypnotic state, and then you got the hypnotic suggestion.
Okay.
So the hypnotic state is just another word for trance state. Yeah. You got different levels of states, and then the hypnotic suggestion is the programming. And you don't need to be in a hypnotic state to be programmed.
Okay.
You can be programmed by politics, religion, marketing tactics. But obviously, the programming side of things, because of the actual trance state closes down the conscious as much as possible, then combining the hypnotic state with the suggestion makes it a lot more powerful or magnified. The suggestion does.
Okay, yeah, get
Yeah.
that.
But obviously, you don't need the hypnotic state for the suggestion. And obviously, when you're recalling, say, coming here tonight or whatever, you don't need to be in a trance state.
Mm-hmm.
You can just use the suggestion. What did I have for tea tonight? Or did I remember to put my clothes in the washer or whatever the thing?
Right,
That's like the suggestion.
Okay.
Of asking your subconscious of to reconstruct that thing. And where I'm going with this is it's like the actual hypnotic trance state, because that sort of minimizes the conscious mind, and the conscious mind is just literally the logical part of the mind, the part of the mind that analyzes everything. By minimizing the analysis and letting your sort of subconscious, your right brain sort of be more creative and stuff, then you're not sort of say if another way of explaining is say you had a bit of a daydream and you dreamt that you were like an ancient Egyptian king or whatever.
Okay.
Your conscious mind would logically analyse, oh, that's just a daydream. But if you're in a trance state, you've not got that critical faculty to actually analyse that, to be that it wasn't something that you've just made up.
Right,
and
okay.
so there's the possibility that could have been true.
Yeah.
That you're tapping into a past life.
Right, okay. Yep, okay then. So that's why, I suppose, am I right in saying that's how a trans medium works? If they exist.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, because obviously I've seen trans mediums on the TV, on video and stuff.
Yeah.
Or heard stories. I've never actually, not that I know of, I don't think I've ever been.
I have, but I didn't believe it was happening.
Is he where he get the ectoplasm and stuff?
No, I never saw that.
Yeah.
But he said he was a trans medium and he was, I don't know what he was.
Well, you never know in 2025 what he means by that.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's it. That's another thing. So, but you know me, I'm pretty sceptical over a lot of things. So
yeah, maybe it was a double XL and he just identified as being a medium.
Yeah, they could have done that. Yeah, that happened a long time ago. It's all towers.
Yeah, as I say, I don't disbelieve, and it's like, we've brought it up in a podcast before when we were having a bit of a chat about mediums, about you've got mediums and you've got mediums, that you know, a lot of them are fake mediums, unfortunately, because it, like anything to do with the paranormal, and it's like I was mentioning earlier about hypnosis and hypnotherapy, you'll get people on that bandwagon just purely to satisfy their ego. Yeah. But you do have genuine mediums. Mm-hmm. That I've come across some really good genuine mediums that have told me specific stuff that there's no way they could have known, and some of the time it's been like premonition stuff.
Yeah.
And there's no way I could have known.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've watched it, as you know yourself, and you have, as I know, I've picked stuff up before. I mean, after 20 or nearly 30 years investigating or paranormal, ghost hunting, whatever you want to call it, I do believe you get more sensitive. And I've picked stuff up. I think I don't know if you can remember, I stopped ghost hunting. I stopped it for 6 months because something I picked up scared me.
Right, yeah.
And I'm thinking, I shouldn't know that. And I still don't know how it happened to this day. Then I just thought, well, get a grip. And
so is it like it scared you because of
I shouldn't know that.
Something?
Yeah, I shouldn't know that.
So it wasn't the actual event itself?
No.
Yeah.
It scared me to, as you know, ghost hunting or investigating the paranormal doesn't scare me in the slightest. If there's something there, I'll go towards that, which you
Yeah.
saw, which happened at Grizzly Hall.
Yeah.
But that, when something comes into your mind and it gets verified
Yeah.
that it's right, what you've known and you didn't know, you honestly didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you wouldn't lie to yourself anyway.
No, exactly.
And that scared me.
Yeah.
So,
And as I've said, mentioned that you don't hold any memories in any physical part of your body.
yeah.
Your brain processes, different parts of your brain processes memories, but the memories come from something external that
Right.
you don't really know what it is.
No.
And when we go on paranormal investigations, I believe if you can get yourself into like a trance state or a hypnotic state or of some kind, where you can actually close your conscious mind and stop analysing to a certain, to a certain point, then you're opening yourself up to those sort of memories,
Yeah,
if you like.
definitely, yeah. Because I am guilty. Because, as you know, the more I was going, I mean, 1 week I'd be sceptical, 1 week I'd believe something,
Yeah.
which is absolutely ridiculous. I know that. But if you're going into an investigation sceptical,
Yeah.
you're not going to pick anything up,
No,
are you?
no.
You can go and then you can say, see, I was right.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
just shut yourself off. So I can understand what you're saying about
Yeah.
if you can do some sort of ritual or hypnosis or meditation, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it.
And some people don't even have to do like a ritual of doing like going into self-hypnosis or whatever. They can do it naturally.
Yeah.
And a lot of the best mediums do actually do that.
Yeah.
And so it's I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, so some people can naturally log the analytical side of the brain off.
Right.
So it's like with artists, those who can do abstract paintings, they're obviously locking the analytical side of the brain off.
Right, okay.
And letting us, because obviously things like your dreams and stuff, they don't make any sort of logical sense.
No.
And when you analyse them, you can't analyse like a cat being a cat, for instance, or a cloud being a cloud. It's all semantic, so it's very it's all down to symbolism on how your subconscious understands sort of communication.
Right, yeah.
Because your subconscious can't speak a language.
No.
If that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's your left brain or your logical side. You know, your conscious that deals with language and stuff.
What do you think about lucid dreaming?
It's fascinating.
I've never had it. I've never done it. It's never happened to me.
I don't think I've actually done it on purpose, but I've had a couple of lucid dreams that are intentional. Like,
and you've been able to control them?
I wouldn't go that far, but it's like I don't know that much about. I'm actually looking on YouTube at the moment. Follow a couple of lucid dreaming channels because that's something that I'm getting more and more interested in.
Right.
And astral projection, things like that. And it's for anything like that, you need to minimise the conscious mind.
Yeah. Fred used to do it a lot,
Fred?
Yeah, Fred Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he used to run the Cheadle Moots, he regularly told us about his lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
And it seemed as though he could actually, I don't know if he could control them, but he went with them and he knew what he was doing in his dream, which I found really fascinating.
Yeah. The only similar thing I've had was when I did what do you call it, like shaman, like a trance state for the shamanism.
Right.
they call it something, a journey or something like that.
It's okay.
Can't think what you call it. But yeah, I was listening to like an audio, and it was part of this course that I pitched because I was just fascinated by shamanism and stuff, and it was just like an hypnotic trance state where you sort of you know where you sort of drifted off, and I was going towards the hills. Then I went underground to like another world, and it was like a forest, and saw these animals and stuff. And that's when I met one of my spirit animals.
Okay.
Like, and it was like really. It was so vivid.
Was this just you at home?
This was just me at home,
Right.
listening to a guided audio, and I see this wooden cabin go in for like, and it gives me some sort of symbol. I can't remember what the symbols were, but it was something that I needed to sort of remember at the time, and for when it came out of the journey or whatever it was called, and yeah, it was like I was with this with these animals and stuff. It was like I'm in the forest, and at one point I'm thinking, how long is this going on for? Because it must be about 2 hours that I've been here, like, you know,
Sounds familiar.
because I've actually done loads.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I could hear the audio started guiding me back, and I got back. And the thing was, I checked the audio, like how long it was on for. It was 15 minutes,
Right. Okay.
and I could swear it was like 2 hours at least, because I was actually walking around this forest, and yeah, so things like that, obviously, you're shutting out your conscious mind. Yeah,
I've been on some race journeys with meditation myself.
yeah,
I love it. I mean, yeah, yeah. Usually you need psychedelics for that sort of thing, but it is possible without them.
But like, obviously, with my hypnosis training, I've been hypnotised thousands or tens of thousands of times.
Yeah.
But I've experienced some deep states, some very deep states, but nothing compared to that.
No. The best one I can recall is when I first started getting into meditation and stuff like that, which was pretty recent, really. About, when did we start? I say about 10 years ago, something like that.
What was that when we
started doing that circle with Nick and Dave?
Oh, the Circle of Six.
Probably
about 10 years ago.
Yeah, probably about 10 years ago. But I took to it pretty quick, actually. I loved it. But the best thing the first time I smelt something in my meditation was a bit mind-blowing. But the one that actually got me when I went on the journey, I went on the same path through the woods, and I felt as though I was touching flowers and plants, and I could smell them when I moved them and that sort of thing, which is just ridiculous. I can remember seeing colour for the first time in a meditation as well, and that was good as well. But then I used to sit on top of this hill watching the sun come up, and I can remember feeling the sun on my face.
Yeah.
And that just did me. That was just fantastic, and from that minute I knew that meditation was the way forward.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what the mind can do, isn't it?
Well, exactly. Because as I've mentioned before, if memories are stored outside of us, then what else is sort of influencing, some external force?
I just found it mad that going into that state makes you smell something.
Yeah.
Makes you feel something.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, apparently, the smell, what they call olfactory, that's supposed to be the easiest sense to manipulate because it's close to the brain. It's like right there behind your nose.
To do a meditation, like.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of people, they can tell when a loved one, a deceased loved one.
Yeah, definitely.
Because the perfume, or if they used to eat, say, tree-born mints or something, if they're known for that.
Or Parma violet smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could smell that. I always had that when I was younger. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So they reckon that's the first thing.
The easiest thing, because it's the closest part to the brain.
Right, okay.
Between the nose and, because obviously the eyes have to travel to the back of the brain
Right, okay.
to give that information for visual, and obviously the ears have to go to the auditory cortex.
Because, well, you know yourself, when you're ghost hunting, let's call it ghost hunting, just for argument's sake,
Yeah.
a lot of the time the first things you can get cold spots and all that, I know that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's a funny smell. You get it, don't you?
Yeah.
You do get, can you smell that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people do pick up on strange smells which shouldn't be there.
Well,
Well,
depends who you're with.
Yeah. But yeah, but a lot of people tend to get the smell of flowers or perfume, don't
Yeah.
they? On
Or
an
even
investigation.
sulphur,
Yeah.
rotten eggs and that.
Which bad demons.
Yeah,
that is,
exactly.
isn't it?
Uh,
Yeah. That's another one, isn't it?
yeah.
Like a eggy smell.
Yeah. But like you just mentioned cold spots as well. I think they're crucial for haunted places
Yeah.
to actually investigate an actual cold spot.
Yeah.
Put your tape recorder in that cold spot and,
Yeah.
try and get a temperature gauge, and see if there's any sort of changes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Use some equipment where that cold spot is, see if anything reacts.
Yeah. Now, do you ever use this? We'll go on to ghost hunting now in a minute. Have you ever brought any your hypnosis or your past life regression into investigating, or is that not possible?
Well,
I suppose you can hypnotise somebody thinking you've seen a ghost.
Well, when we did East Drive the first time, we did a bit of an experiment, didn't we? Where I hypnotised 3 or 4 people to do like a sort of automatic writing or something.
Yeah, I was one of them. Yeah, I think you did 2 groups, didn't you? I think there was a couple of us in each group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
obviously,
we kind of drew the same thing, didn't we? Like an arrow thing.
All 4 were or 3 or 4, whatever, were uncannily the same.
Yeah.
And you all of you had your eyes closed and stuff.
Well, it's pitch black as well.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. So that was quite. Plus,
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've recently been watching another paranormal channel. It's, Amy from Shadowhunters UK, and she'll do things like that automatic writing. And I think they're so underused, all this idiomotor stuff on, in haunted locations.
Yeah.
I think you need to do things like automatic writing, and if you're against a Ouija boards, but a Ouija board's just a board.
Yeah.
And people say, spirits have to go through you to sort of move the planchet. Well, they do if you're doing automatic writing.
Yeah.
Or they're influencing your memory, because it's like when we went to Saltmarsh and you and Jamie said, go in that room, see what you could pick up. And I went in, it was a bathroom, and I felt like I was drowning.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I think you and Jamie said last time you came, you had exactly the same thing about somebody being drowned there. Yeah. And it's like things like that.
Shame that's all been done up now,
Has it?
Yeah, it's a big wedding venue and everything now. It's a fantastic place, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I only went all them servants' quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good building. That was where that bathroom was, wasn't it? In there upstairs,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, some good places.
Yeah.
So right then we'll go on to a bit of ghost hunting and stuff. So that's what you're into now, isn't it?
I'm pretty much into sort of a bit of everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because how my brain works, it can't focus on one thing. It sort of starts on something and then it gets sidetracked because it links up to that. And then before I know it, I'm on something completely different,
I've stopped now. I've stopped doing that. I just concentrate on one. I'm just going to go back now to the 2 forms of regression. Hypnosis.
Yeah.
The first one is trance, then the other one...
Suggestion.
Is that why Nick Taft believes it's a flat Earth? Has he had that from YouTube? Has that really drummed it into his head?
See, the thing is, what the suggestion does, people use a suggestion to change a person's behaviour.
Because he never used to, had he? Like, you don't do you growing up.
He's been into flat Earth for a few years now.
I know, but he never used to. He was a globe.
Yeah.
He's definitely a flat Earth.
See, I think what it is that when you start asking questions, you start sort of creating a confirmational bias,
right?
Which basically means you filter a lot of the other stuff out. So you don't start off believing the world is flat until you sort of come across something and you start questioning something, and then you think, nah, that can't be right, and then you start looking for the real thing. Then you find out that what you were told was actually a lie. So it's like the NASA stuff, for instance, like the man on the moon. You know, whether Neil Armstrong, whatever, went on the moon or not, there was lies regarding that. Because if you Google Neil Armstrong photos on the moon, you'll come up with a load of photos of Neil Armstrong on the moon. And one of the biggest regrets that Neil Armstrong had, apparently, and this is coming from a NASA astronaut, was that Neil Armstrong never had his photo taken on the moon.
Right, okay.
And
I've seen him on the moon.
Yeah,
seen him on the telly on the moon.
Well, yeah, you got that cameraman catching his rocket coming down.
Play golf, didn't he? Did you play golf on the moon? Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so, and obviously it's sort of when you start questioning the narrative, and you start finding holes in this narrative, then you start believing the more insane stuff. And I'm not saying that flat Earth is insane.
It is a bit.
It is a bit, yeah.
It is a bit. I mean, a lot of it makes sense.
But the thing is, it's absolutely crazy if it is true.
Yeah.
And I'm one that I can't actually prove that the Earth's a globe.
Well, nobody can they?
No, exactly.
So
until I can prove that it's a globe, me personally, like, because obviously even if I went on a space station, the space station is too close to Earth to see any curvature.
Yeah.
And obviously you get people, I've seen a curvature on a plane or whatever, a couple of miles up.
Yeah, this will get people.
But what they don't realise is it's convex mirrors, concave windows.
Yeah.
Because of the pressure.
Yeah, this will get people mad now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough of that.
That's enough of flat Earth.
That's enough of flat Earth, yeah. I was just wondering whether it's the same sort of... That's just an instant.
Yeah, but you do get a lot of that, and that's why there's so many conspiracy theories, because when... and it's... The police and the governments actually do it on purpose. They must do it on purpose, because they're not stupid. And it's like the recent cases with, say, the Southport murders and stuff like that. They will... sort of, obviously this is controversial, but it's all out now, and it's been proven that the police and the government statements were completely false about the Southport stuff. And obviously the people of Southport knew that the government and police were lying. That's why they were kicking off. Especially when it involves a very emotive subject, like, young girls being slaughtered, basically. That it'll put, and that's where the government have got to be careful that they don't sort of push it towards like a social war, because it was coming very close to that.
Yeah. So a ghost real then?
Our ghost real. I believe everything's real. If you can name something like unicorns, tooth fairies, Santa Claus, then they're obviously real. However, they might not be as we believe them to be. So I believe ghosts are real, right, but I don't believe it's like a dead person that's walking around.
No.
It for me, unless I used to think that it's something to do with the Earth's atmosphere, like the magnetic resonance. Yeah, so I used to believe that ghosts were some sort of imprint in time and space that was caused by the Earth's magnetic field and a few other variables. But like the old photography used to have the right amount of light, and and obviously the difference between a photograph and a moving picture is the moving picture is just loads and loads of different photographs.
Yep.
So I believe a ghost, when you see a ghost walking, like, up or down the stairs or across a deserted building, I believe that that's like an imprint that for some reason the actual environmental conditions were just right at that moment in time that's kept it there to sort of to be outside of the constraints of time.
Right.
So it's forever playing. And that's what I believe believed a ghost was. But as I mentioned about the Sheldrake thing, about the biology, it's about every living thing has got a memory, and all the memories are connected in some way. So a bit like Carl Gustav Jung's collective unconscious. It's like a collective memory. Like the Star Trek, where is it the Borgs that had a collective? What did he call it? The collective, where each and every spaceship knew through like telepathic means. I suppose.
I didn't watch Star Trek.
Did you?
No,
Yeah,
no.
and how he was explained is because, say if you teach a lab rat a certain way to deal with a puzzle, or certain routine that'll increase the rat's productivity, for instance.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, lab rats and the other side of the world will start picking up on that.
Okay.
And there's also been something to do with monkeys as well.
Yeah. And birds, I think, aren't they?
And birds, yeah, aviation, and schools of fish.
Yep.
And it's all down to this morphic resonance, and which is some sort of memory, like a collective memory. Now, he also states that the collective memory, we're getting the memory from the past as well. So we're inheriting the memory that's sort of outside our physical bodies that we're tapping into, which sort of comes in line with what I was talking about with past life regression and the fifth dimension. And so, what if it was something to do, ghosts are something to do with this morphic resonance, this memory, that we can sort of, go into a little bit of a trance state or a hypnotic state, and we can actually pick that memory up.
This is exactly why I asked the question, because as we are talking about all the stuff that you do, like everything to do with the mind, really, isn't it? All your background.
Yeah.
I had an instance, as you know, at Gresley Hall, and which made me to believe. I saw what I saw. I saw this thing happening. Now, we had two different sorts of filming it, two different cameras.
Yeah.
There was two other people in the room with me, you being one of them.
Yeah.
And we had photos taken, and none of it picked it up. So that got me thinking, is when we'd see, let's say, an apparition, it was a bit different than that, which I'll go into in another podcast. Are we seeing them in our mind? Are they not actually there for everybody to see? I touched on this on the last podcast with Mark Reynolds.
Yeah.
I want to get in touch with somebody where I know you've said before that you've picked up something similar to somebody else. But there could have been a power of suggestion there, one part or the other.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying there was, but there could have been.
Yeah.
What I want is 2 people or 3 people or 4 people to come forward and tell me that they've all seen the same apparition at the same time.
Without the suggestion.
Yeah, without the suggestion.
That somebody's...
Did you see that? Yeah. What did you see? Saw a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw a girl.
Yeah.
Somebody that they've done it in a controlled...
Yeah.
If we were in a room now knowing what we know,
Yeah.
if we saw something, I'd just say, did you see that? And if you said yeah, I'd say, right.
Yeah.
Write down what you saw.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then we could both write down what we saw.
Yeah.
Because people don't write stuff down anymore.
No.
People just don't do it.
No.
Write down what you saw. And if it is the same, then that just proves that we both saw something at the same time.
Yeah.
So then I would believe that actually was a recording or whatever it was, and it wasn't solely in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Because at this minute, I'm just convinced now that a lot of apparitions are just in your mind.
For me personally, I think, yes, they are created in the mind or the brain. However, I don't think they're hallucinatory. Like, if you see a ghost or a spirit or whatever, then I believe, yeah, it's created in the brain, but the brain's projecting it out somehow. And that's how other people, if they can see it, can see the same thing. And that's where sort of my beliefs are sort of slowly going towards now, that something's influencing different parts of the brain or the mind or the subconscious to actually project these things, which is obviously you've done an intensive study on the poltergeists, and literally every poltergeist is linked to somebody with eye stress, like a girl going through puberty, for instance.
Divorces.
Yeah. And I believe that a poltergeist has nothing to do with spirit. It's more to do with the brain actually causing some sort of telekinetic physical manifestation. Yeah. But I also believe that state that the brain's causing, it's an uncontrollable, it's a bit like projection anxiety. But I also believe that some kind of spirit can actually attach or be attracted to that state.
I believe,
like the Enfield.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe you can manifest a spirit.
Yeah.
There's been a load of experiments, haven't there?
Yeah.
That have done this. I won't go into them all now. That's another podcast for you.
Yeah.
So we know allegedly that's been done.
Yeah.
So I don't see why giving off all this energy can't manifest a ghost. Let's call it a ghost, spirit, whatever, as well as the poltergeist phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know? So just say this happens, all this stuff's going on, the classic poltergeist stuff that goes on. But then, like in the Enfield case, they saw apparitions as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
And if you think about it, it's like an emotional whirlwind. Somebody's going through an emotional whirlwind. Then poltergeist activity happens.
Yeah.
You know, plates go flying. That builds that energy up even more, so that whirlwind is going faster. And maybe somehow the spirit is getting trapped in that whirlwind, like in the Enfield case and a few other cases. But yeah, I don't believe all poltergeist activities are spirit related.
No. Yeah. I haven't had one yet. Why haven't I had a poltergeist case investigated?
But I've experienced poltergeist activity in my flat
Yeah.
But I was going through a lot of highly, because it was just before I was diagnosed with my brain tumour.
Yeah.
And I was going through a very, very highly anxious state at the time. And there was
Yeah.
plant pots jumping
Was
off
there?
me windowsill and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a load of stuff. I think I'm blessed. I'm going to just go out there and say this now. I'm blessed that I tend to get followed by haunting.
Right, yeah?
Are you with me?
Yeah.
But I'm not blessed with a fully blown poltergeist case. I've never had that things flying across the room, or I've had some even in this new house. I've had some weird shit going already, mate. Honestly,
Yeah.
my lady's not comfortable there.
Yeah.
We've had a few weird things
Yeah.
that involving water as well, which is
Yeah. That was a big one for 30 East Drive, wasn't it, originally, the water?
Yeah, and there's the one at oh man, what's it called? Rochdale Poltergeist. That was rain in his house.
The Rochdale?
The Rochdale Poltergeist, yeah. And that was all to do with water.
Yeah.
It was actually raining from his ceiling. Yeah. They had the counselling and everything checked all apart. Nothing, there's nothing anywhere, no damp, no nothing.
Yeah.
When the guy, I can't remember his name, I've got the book somewhere. When he went in and investigated it, all the sofas and everything had plastic coverings on and all the carpets, and it just stunk of damp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Rochdale one. Look into that. I've got the book somewhere.
I don't think I've actually come across that.
Yeah, that was raining in the house, which is a bit dramatic, isn't it?
But the actual, was it 30 East Drive or the Enfield one? It was like a layer of smoke or dust or something.
White dust fell from the ceiling. That was at East Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, just covered in dust. That was one of the first things that actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love the poltergeist. There's that many different things to it, and it isn't just a ghost in the corner or walking through a wall. It's just, but it's
Well, saying that, because obviously you said about the poltergeist, I believe they're created by the person that's going through the anxiety. But maybe the spirit was there first, and it's the spirit that's actually causing more of the anxiety. And
I get there.
So the other way around.
I get the disturbances can be caused by the bad energy and everything.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand why it forms pools of water, stuff falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
White dust comes from nowhere. I can't understand why it does that. How can it do that? I can understand it wobbling things. We've heard of cases anyway when people are getting really angry and glasses have broken, stuff like mirrors have gone, and that does happen. It's been proven it happens.
Yeah.
But some of this stuff
and
just doesn't lie right with me.
An operatic singer, if they can get a certain note, they can shatter glass and stuff. And a lot, it's all coming down to sort of vibration and stuff.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that happens in a poltergeist case that just doesn't. That's why I'm still investigating it now and researching it now, because I'll go into a certain haunting or a certain subject, and I'm thinking, that's caused by stress and everything, and it always happens around this person. But then you get something else that happens. They aren't in the room or they aren't in the building. And it's just a ridiculous thing that happens,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maurice Green was in the kitchen on his own. They're all in bed. Mind you, they were in the building. They were in bed, but the teapot just moved.
Yeah.
And it's weird stuff. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Could that have been an intelligent haunting? Are they the same thing? I don't know.
Yeah. See, I've had like a plate move when I lived in my house in Bull Green, and there was weird things going on in there, because we got that house when I first got married, and we bought the house. And when we first moved in, it was I was a bus driver at the time, and I used to do like silly hours, you know. And one afternoon, I was actually there with me, what's my ex-wife now, and it was about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I could hear kids running up the front bedroom.
Yeah.
And I said, "That sounds like kids in our bedroom." Says, and my ex-wife at the time says, "No, it's next door. The old couple next door. It must be the grandkids or something, because she hears it quite regularly."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, right." I didn't think anything of it. And a few weeks after, like, heard the kids again around about the same time. And then it was probably about a couple of months after this that my friend who lived in, who grew up in Bull Green, knows the area very well and knew the neighbours and stuff. And she come around for a cup of coffee. So does me, my ex-wife, and my friend. And could hear the kids running again. And like my friend said, "Who's that in your bedroom?" And Samantha says, "Oh, it's just the grandkids, I think, next door." And Tracy says, "Next door, I haven't got any grandkids. You haven't got any children."
Right.
They were like an old, like,
Yeah.
you know, probably in the 70s, like.
Yeah.
And I thought she was winding us up at first because, you know, and yeah, so after that we started looking out to see if we could see like grandkids, like, because we were on like the corner house. So I was top of one road. It was like East Drive.
Yeah.
I'm top of one road and they're top of the other road, and we like joined together, like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
semi-detached house. And after that, we never heard the kids again.
All right. Okay.
Because we were looking out for the kids and stuff. And because my ex-wife at the time, well, my wife at the time, she could hear them on a, because she didn't work, like, so she could hear them on a daily basis
Right.
before she went to pick up her daughter from school, because
Yeah.
she pick up daughter about 3 o'clock. So every sort of afternoon, about 1:30 till 2:30, she'd hear the kids running up and down the bedroom, like. But she thought it was obviously echoing from their bedroom, but no.
Yeah.
And there was a few weird instances that happened there, and I was saying about the plate. This was after we broke up. After we got divorced, I was still living in the same house, and this was one afternoon, and I thought, "Oh, I'll do myself a sandwich." So I put a plate down, put the kettle on, went to the fridge to get the butter out and sandwich stuff. And as I'm walking towards the plate, like a little sandwich plate, it just moved about 6 inches towards me, and I thought it was going to come off, like.
Yeah.
And I went for a sort of try and catch it, but it just sort of moved like really quick, like that.
Right. Okay.
And so I put the sandwich stuff down, looked under the plate, like, see what could have possibly done now. And
There's no water or nothing.
no water, no, it was all completely dry. And it just moved about 6 inches. Well, about 4 or 5 inches it moved, but like a sudden movement. But
Right.
just as I was walking towards it, so I was like facing it.
Yeah.
And you
So you
just
saw
heard
it.
it like, shh, like that.
Cool. There you go, folks. Go surreal.
Go surreal.
Go surreal.
Well, there's
If
something
you
that
heard it from
exists,
Mark.
isn't there?
Yeah. So you're not all in the mind then.
I believe that everything's created in the brain. All your reality is created in your brain.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned before, if you look at the table or whatever, that's just letting in frequencies, like everything you hear, or all your five senses are letting in frequencies, and those frequencies sort of get translated into information. That information goes to different parts of your brain. It's your brain that creates your reality.
Yeah.
So you're not actually seeing the same things that I'm seeing, even though the same signals are going in, literally because we've got unique brains.
Yeah.
You know, if everybody saw the same thing as each other, so if we did see with our eyes and not with the brain, then everybody'd have the same taste and art,
Right.
because you know you wouldn't have like a filter system. that makes your, it's like identical twins. Even they can sort of change. They might have the same taste in clothing and stuff, but there'll be something, whether it's taste in food or taste in art or taste in music or whatever, that'll be different. And it's basically because the brains, you've got a brain each. They're not the same brain.
Right, okay. Fascinating. So what are you up to now?
What are we up to now?
Yeah. What's Mark doing now in the paranormal world?
Right, so obviously I started my YouTube channel last year.
Which is called?
Mark's Random Curiosities.
There you go. I'll put a link into that.
Yeah, and as soon as I decided to start a YouTube channel, my car was off the road for like 8 months.
Forever, wasn't it? I know.
So I've just got my car back on the road. So I'm hopefully going to do some sort of solo invests. Plus, we do a lot of invests with each other as well.
Yeah.
I've also started training on the accredited paranormal investigation training, which is
cool.
Part of the SPR training, which is for ASAP. So I should be an accredited paranormal investigator by about March time, middle of March.
Right, cool. Is that, I know it's through ASAP, but is that, so they're doing that for the SPR, is that right?
Yeah, the actual manual says SPR, not ASAP.
Right, okay.
And the guy who's doing the training, Steve Parker, I forget I'm useless with names. I'm thinking Steve Parker. He wrote about ghostology and stuff.
Yeah.
And he actually works for both SPR and ASAP.
There's been a big change, haven't they?
In ASAP? Yeah. I don't really know that much because I only joined ASAP last year, so...
Yeah.
But there's been a bit of a shuffle at the top or something, yeah. So I don't know what the future is for ASAP at the minute.
Yeah. I should be doing the next course, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'd have done it this time. I've been that busy
in
the house, and I just don't have the time, to be honest with you. So how often is that? Once a week on a Sunday?
On a Sunday night, yeah. It's about 3 hours maybe.
Is this all through like a Zoom thing?
Yeah, a Zoom call. There's only about 5 of us on it.
Right.
But we do it through, comfort of our own.
What ages are they, Mark, that are on it?
Sort of our ages,
are they?
I'd say.
Midlife crisis, like.
Yeah, some maybe a bit younger. Like, it's hard to say because there was a couple of women it was 3 women I saw, but there was 2 of us that I didn't see because they didn't have the video on.
Right, okay.
But the guy who you couldn't see his face, he sounded a bit younger, probably mid-30s or whatever.
Right, okay.
But he was around about our age, between 30 and 60.
So they're doing that then instead of buying a sports car, are they now?
Yeah.
Is that what they do? In your midlife crisis now?
Well, I've had me convertible.
Yeah, my lady thinks I'm in a midlife crisis, all the stuff I do.
Well, buying a bongo.
Yeah, buying the bongo, yeah. Yeah, she actually does love the bongo, to be honest with you. Yeah, I've had all them in the past. I had all them sort of cars before I had my midlife crisis.
Yeah.
So that left me nothing else to have apart from a bongo.
Yeah, I think I had my midlife crisis when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I did. In my early 20s anyway. I hope it wasn't my midlife crisis because I'll be due to die soon. No. So you're going to be a real paranormal investigator.
Real one. Yeah.
Hey, none of these ghost hunters.
With
We'll just be just the ghost hunters.
Yeah.
And Mark will be a real paranormal investigator.
With me notepad and pen.
That's it. That's all I take now.
Yeah. That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe something to find, like, cold spots, temperature thing or something.
Because I'm convinced I'm never going, even though I film everything,
yeah,
I'm convinced I'll never catch anything.
Well, that was what I was going to say earlier about the Grizzly Hall one. We had like thermal vision and IR night vision, I think. And but maybe it's because it's not on them spectrums. So
don't
maybe
know.
for catch a ghost on camera, it needs to be a certain camera, you know.
That we don't know about.
That's why we need to investigate using things like Polaroids, analog cameras.
We do need to do all that because when it was happening,
Yeah,
as much as I didn't want her to take a photograph,
yeah,
Marie asked, shall I take a photograph? And I thought, well, I don't want to because I was seeing what I was seeing and I didn't want it to end.
yeah.
Even though at first it was a bit nervy, should I say, but
Yeah.
listen, it was what I was asking for and it was happening.
Well, I could see like this, like it was like sparkles, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
this is exactly what. So
Yeah.
you did see something?
Yeah,
then?
yeah. Well, I didn't see it on the camera.
No, there was nothing, was there?
Yeah.
And she took
I'm sure Marie saw it as well because.
I don't know if she did.
But I think she couldn't get it on the camera because
She took a
when
photo.
she used a flash.
When she took the photograph, it went, and I couldn't get it back. I tried to get it back, didn't I?
But she did use a flash.
Yeah, it went.
So maybe the flash had absorbed that build up.
Yeah, maybe. I know it went after that anyway.
But just before that, well, maybe about half hour before, I felt could see something there. That's why I went out with my camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had a look, and the only thing I come up with is like the light downstairs must have been on an automatic timer.
Yeah, it could well have been, yeah.
Because it looked like something walked across, but if you imagine a light going off, it could have been the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it just seems funny that it was in the same place as what you saw that.
I thought I saw shadows in there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
At one point. And that's why I sat opposite the door because I thought I saw a shadow in there.
Yeah.
But it was that. I know this sounds crazy, folks, on this, but it was like that many different types of darkness.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and you could actually see shadows in there.
Yeah.
It was just weird, but that isn't the thing I actually saw. But we thought we saw that. But not only me, Nick saw something else in another room, didn't he?
Well, he was grabbed, wasn't he? His
Yeah,
leg.
He was grabbed as well. He thought that was me messing about.
In fact, if it wasn't for me recording that with my video,
he thought it was me, didn't
he? He would have swore it was you if he hadn't got that. It was only when he sort of looked at that, because it definitely felt like a physical grab. But another thing, I'm going to have to go through because I've got a static cam from that place, and it was that whistling, and I thought it was Nick T whistling.
Yeah, and it
throughout.
He said it wasn't.
But it was whistling like throughout.
The good thing is because I thought it was Nick whistling.
Yeah.
But then when he was talking, the whistling came at the same time. It sort of overlaid him.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, obviously we can't rule out somebody outside the building.
No, this was definitely in the building. Yeah.
But I'm just saying we can't really, because there's no windows, is there? You know.
And it definitely sounded like a human whistle rather than, say, whistle from a
and
wind.
it was close by. Yeah.
But the whistling I heard before that's on the camera that I thought was Nick T, that was like whistling a tune.
Yeah.
So and it goes on for quite a bit actually. Goes on for quite a few seconds or so. So I'll have to get that up and sort of let you have a listen. I just naturally thought it was Nick T whistling.
Yeah. Until it overlapped.
But
there's talking.
Yeah, and then that last whistle what we heard, that sort of overlapped his talking when we were all in that room. But it was the same whistle that happened at 30 East Drive as well.
Right.
You remember that whistle? And you thought it was somebody else?
Yeah.
And I don't think that was Nick.
I don't know.
Because he was talking on the...
Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was, and that was really...
That was clear as day.
I thought that was Callum.
Yeah, because Callum was sort of
next
there to me.
I thought.
And I was looking down the stairs when it happened, so I asked Callum if that was Nick sort of whistling. And Callum said, no, it definitely wasn't Nick. So I thought, well, if he's saying it's definitely not Nick, then obviously he's saying it's definitely not him either.
Maybe he's, you know how people are. Maybe they don't know.
But the weird thing about it is when I get in between Grizzly Hall and 30th Drive, I was doing that talk, and I didn't notice it at the time. But when I'm going through the footage, like, you know, because obviously I'm setting my camera up and going through the footage, and it was whistling then. It was like the same whistle.
Right.
And I'm like...
The phantom whistler.
Well, yeah, it's like, how weird is it that it's in them three things?
It sounded the same, did it? I know it's a whistle, I know. But
yeah, I'm going... but obviously, it was a pub, and it was quite busy that night. Because they had, I think that was the night that they had a wedding thing in. So, obviously, anybody could have... It was just strange. At
Mysteries.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So it was strange that I'm getting a whistling sort of, you know, but human whistling, like whistling a tune.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to get it all together, the footage from all three things.
So we can have a listen of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So, by the time you go Stonehenge, which is where we're going,
June, yeah.
You'll be a fully qualified paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
And then I'll have to pay you to come on here.
Yeah.
So, so have you got anything else in the pipeline, or is that's it? Man, you can't fit much else in, can you? It's taking up all your time.
No, not really. Yeah, I just want to get out and about now. I've got my car back.
Yeah, plus the weather's shit, isn't it? You know? So there's nothing worse. Like you said, you tried the other night, didn't you? After we had our social here.
The mermaid pool. I thought I'd try it because even though it's cold, it was a clear night.
That's twice we've been there now, isn't it? And we're unable to go down.
But that first time, it was quite clear. And then as soon as we sort of parked up and got our cameras out, it was like gusts of wind coming from nowhere.
No way I was getting down there then.
Yeah. But like what happened on Monday was like, as I say, it was clear. Got to the fence, sort of recording it, and then I was looking to see where the path was because it's just to the right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where we park up, and all of a sudden this fog come down, and I thought, where's this coming from? And then it just went really, really thick. And first of all, I thought, thank God I've not started because I couldn't see in front of me.
Yeah.
You know, my thermal vision could pick up the pond or the lake or whatever it is, and but in fact I turned around and I couldn't even see my car, and I'm only about 15 feet away from the car. You know, it's not far, 20 foot away maybe. So I thought, see if the fog goes, see if it's just like, you know, and I waited a couple of minutes just filming, like just trying to sort of find something, you know, and all I could see, because I got my torch on the fence, you could just about, you could pick up the fence, but nothing beyond the fence, like, you know. So I thought, sadness, it's too dangerous to actually go down.
Them pesking mermaids.
Yeah.
Luring you in, weren't they, into the fog.
Well, apparently, I've been reading since about that, because obviously there's two little lakes, or two ponds, or whatever, that within a mile of each other, I'd say, and they both link to the mermaids, and they say that like the mermaids go between one and the other, because they also said that that one's a bottomless one, but they've had surveyors go down and say it's only like 6 feet deep or something like that.
Right, I don't know.
But I've also seen a fireman's account. I don't know whether it was like the fires they had recently a couple of years ago, or whether it was one before that, but they obviously had to use that pond or something to put the fires out. And they said they used so many tens of thousands of gallons of water, and it didn't even impact the level. The levels of the lake was still the same. It's only like...
It's not very big, is it?
About 50 metres?
Yeah, it's not very big.
Yeah.
I've never been to the other one, but I know the other one.
No, I haven't.
No,
yeah. It's supposed to be somewhere close to where we go camp. Camp up. It's supposed to be that way.
By the Winking Man.
Yeah, sort of the other side of so the Mermaid Lake is this side, the same side as Winking Man. It's like the opposite side of the road, where them laybys are on the rocks. It's somewhere around there.
Right.
So I don't know, but I'm going to go Lodge Church and then two things. But I'm going to go Lodge Church in the daytime. So the way I'm going to go there at night.
No, not you anyway.
Yeah.
Right, mate, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
We've kind of went off the topic a little bit with ghost hunting, but not too much.
Not too much.
I brought it in because I thought it was to do with the mind, so I can get away with that. I'm happy with that. You will find out on future podcasts that we do tend to talk about one thing and go completely off the mark and talk.
We only briefly went on to flat Earth.
Yeah. I just thought I'd mention it because it wouldn't be one of our podcasts if I didn't mention that. So, thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
And no doubt you'll be on again soon. Because we have a social on a Monday night at the Nuke, and I think I'm going to start doing just like a group chat thing, about anything that's been happening in the week. Paranormal, strange, weird, unexplained, all that sort of stuff, Yeah, so just again, what's your page, Mark?
Yeah, it's my YouTube is Mark's Random Curiosities.
And what about Facebook? Are you on there?
I am, yeah. Again, you can. I've got a Mark's Random Curiosities on Facebook page. Yeah.
Right. So what I'll do is I'll get Mark to send me all the links for that, and I'll put them in the descriptions below. And go check it out. He's got a few things on. I've got nothing on my channel. By the time this goes out, I'll probably have one other video because this is a brand new channel. So if you like what you're hearing, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share. It's nice to share, isn't it?
It is. It's good to share.
Sharing is caring.
Every little helps.
Yes, it does. Yes, and there'll be more of this, won't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, mate. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
And as always, it's been emotional.
It has.
It has. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.